Hello, my name is James, and this is how I spent a slow Sunday preparing and resetting for the week ahead. Good morning, guys. I've got about 10 minutes right now before I head out the door. I'm going to have coffee, actually, with a guy from the Gentleman's Institution and his mom, who is in town, and he wanted me to meet her, so I said, sure, why not? So I'm just having a quick breakfast. I don't really have a lot of food in the house. I need to go grocery shopping today. So I've just got some Greek yogurt and honey. And I don't normally like to do too much work on Sundays, but what I am doing just quickly is giving everything a once over for the Gentleman's Digest. This is my weekly newsletter. I've already mostly written it, so I'm just proofreading everything, putting the email together, and then sending it out. If you're not familiar with this newsletter, it's something where I just write personal insights, reflections. I always recommend as well a movie, an album to listen to, a book, and something to wear. So there'll be a link down in the description where you can sign up for that if you would like to. But I'm going to put some finishing touches to this and then go for coffee. And then I'm going to go to church. I'll take the bus up to church. And then I've got a couple of things on the agenda, but you will see as the day goes on. Just before I head out the door, I'll show you the outfit because I will be wearing this to church as well and then going grocery shopping after. I've got this navy linen blazer from Ralph Lauren, white linen cotton shirt, quite colourful chinos from J. Crew. Actually, these were a gift, well, they were given to me, handed down from a friend, and then some penny loafers on my feet. And then for my fragrance, pretty much the entire summer I've been wearing this. This is Jockey Club by Caswell Massey, which was the signature fragrance of JFK. So if it's good enough for him, I'd say it's good enough for me. It really is such a pleasure to walk here in the morning, such a pleasure to live here in the summer. I am thinking of getting out of Chicago for the winter, but on days like this, you really cannot complain. Obviously, going for coffee with your mother is not something that's normally included in the Gentleman's Institution. It's more about meeting each other, getting out to hang out with me, doing our group calls, doing our challenges. But this guy Aiden he's been in there since the very start, really. So if he's in town, of course I'm gonna make 20 minutes to go and get a coffee. I didn't record the meeting of the member and his mother just out of privacy and respect to them, but it was really, really fun to meet them and spend some time together. Then I actually took the train up to go to church. Obviously didn't really film the service or anything like that, but it was a really great way for me to recalibrate and kind of reset myself for the week ahead. And then I went to my favorite cigar lounge and decided to simply grab a coffee and a cigar and sit and people watch for a little bit. I really do think that the art of living slow, enjoying the simple pleasures in life, sitting by the fountain, watching the people go by, that's something that we've fallen so out of touch with, especially as men. There's always this pressure to move faster, to work more, to do more. There's nothing wrong with simply sitting and existing once in a while. Alright guys, I am back at home. I went to Trader Joe's on the way to get some groceries. It was super busy in there, so I didn't film. It was a little chaotic, but I do think actually I like to get groceries delivered to save time and the convenience, but sometimes it's good to just go out and do your shopping in public, be around other people. So I didn't get a load of groceries because I'm actually going to Austin in 3 days. So I'm not really doing any meal prepping today, but I have some bagels. I've got some apples in there. For the next few nights for dinner, I'm just gonna have a steak. So I've got 3 of these beef ribeye steaks, which are really good from Trader Joe's. And they're a nice size. The fat is really delicious on these. I've got some lemons, which I've decided, I used to drink these Elements electrolyte drinks in the morning, and they're good, but I figured it's probably just the same if I have some pink Himalayan salt and lemon for the taste. Some smoked turkey, some bacon for breakfast, and then to have as a side with my steaks, I got some mac and cheese. I also got some flowers. These are not for me. These are actually for my new neighbor. I just heard that I had a new neighbor move in yesterday, so I just wanted to give her a warm welcome. I've heard that it's a single woman. I have no idea what she looks like though, so this isn't really a romantic gesture. This is just a gesture to be nice. And I really do think, guys, do things just to be kind, just to make somebody's day. Don't be so attached to the outcomes or giving to get, especially with women. Why not just brighten somebody's day? I don't know if she's going to be the most beautiful woman I've ever seen or she's going to be a 400-pound monster. But either way, I want to brighten her day with some flowers. So I'm going to write a note and just give her my phone number and say, welcome to the neighborhood. If there's anything that you need, just give me a text. My name is James. So let's put these away. Probably make a bagel for lunch. And then I do have to finish off and send out the Gentleman's Institution newsletter, call my grandma, and then my cleaner is going to be here around 3:30. And I normally like to get out of the apartment, get out of her way so she can do her job. And during that time, I'll probably do what I like to do every week, which is a kind of a weekly board meeting with myself, where I can take an assessment of the week so far, plan the week ahead, figure out where I am in relation to my goals, and just help myself prepare for success for next week. So let's put these groceries away and go and say hello to my new neighbor. After sending this off to my neighbor, and it was lovely to meet her, although I don't think any romantic sparks will be flying anytime soon, I made some time to call my parents and catch up with my mom and my dad. I always enjoy talking with them, but being on different time zones and me working a lot, we don't always get to catch up as often as either of us would like. And then I actually received a call from Raphael from the Gentleman's Gazette. So we had a spontaneous 30-minute catch-up about business, life, travel plans, and we actually planned something pretty special for the guys in the Gentleman's Institution, which I'm really excited to reveal rather soon. After that, I dragged myself to the gym, and I really do mean dragged. I was not in the mood at all for this workout, especially back day. That's always a really heavy day with lots of weighted pull-ups, rows, pull-downs, that kind of thing. But I actually ended up having a really strong, productive workout, but it definitely was not something that I felt like doing. I didn't want to end the week on a bad note by skipping a workout, so I'm really glad and proud of myself that I just got it done. Fitness is something I'm taking more and more seriously and really enjoying lately, so let me know in the comments if you want more content about that. It's hard for me to stress how much I can't be asked to do this weekly planning / review right now. It's been a bit of a theme of this afternoon to just push myself past things that I don't really want to do, but I know that I need to. And this review that I do every week is just really, really useful to set the agenda for the following week, to reflect on things that I've done well. Next week, I'm planning to keep things pretty simple. I've got to make content, engage with the community, with the Gentleman's Institution, do group calls, work on a new course for the Gentleman's Institution, and go to Austin. And I've already set up some dates there. I've got to set up some apartment viewings or house viewings, and that's it really. So I think that actually just sitting down and having this process of reflection gives me that clarity to realize, actually, although you have a lot on your plate, it is incredibly simple when you break it down to the most important elements. Being as I'm not really feeling this right now, I'm just going to set a timer for 20 minutes, plan it, have a steak for dinner and a movie, and go to bed and get a really early night so I can smash it and have a really productive week next week. I've been doing these weekly reviews with myself for about a year now, and although the amount of time I will spend on each one varies, it's definitely one of the most positive changes that I have implemented. So I highly encourage you, next Sunday, grab your notebook, grab a journal, and just write down a few points. What are 3 things I'm proud of this week?
What are 3 things I need to improve? What are my 3 priorities for next week? Set the direction, make sure that you know where you're going to put your time and your focus the following week. Otherwise, you'll look back 7 days later and wonder what on earth happened. So I really enjoy these, even though I wasn't particularly in the mood. I felt so much more clarity, and I felt a lot more positive having done this review than I would have done otherwise.
I know it seems very cliche influencer of me to have my steak on a cutting board, but I genuinely don't have plates big enough to accommodate this 16-ounce ribeye. Well, the day is almost over. I'm planning to have an early night. For me, Sunday is all about rest, reflection, and recovery. And I feel like I've hit all of those very well. It's been an active day. I've done over 20,000 steps walking around all day, but I'm going to settle in to the evening with, after dinner, reading this novel. I'm trying to read more fiction to help myself relax, and this is John le Carre's most famous work, A Spy Who Came from the Cold. I've never read anything by le Carre, but it's definitely the kind of thing that I would enjoy. So I picked this up at a bookstore the other day, and I'm really excited to tuck into it. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog, seeing how I do my Sundays. There are some things that I would normally do on a Sunday that didn't happen today. For example, laundry. But I did laundry a couple of days ago, and with me going away, I don't really have a need to do it. So I'm going to enjoy this steak. I'll catch you guys in the next video. And remember, if you want to hang out with me, you want to be connected with a bunch of like-minded guys, wherever you are in the world, link is below to join the Gentleman's Institution. I'll see you in there.